Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our second live and our first live on Facebook. So a second live on YouTube this week and our first live on Facebook. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And those of you that are watching this after our live, welcome to the channel again. So we have quite a special show for you this evening. We have Alex Evans, very good friend of mine, coming onto the show this evening, and we'll be bringing him onto the show in just a moment. Lee, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
And Paul is in the house tonight as well. Welcome back to the channel, Paul. How are you doing?
Thank you. All good. Yeah.
Very, very good. Right then, Lee, let's get
there, Dan. Swift haircut.
Yeah, well, I thought I would wait for Alex to come on before we have a little chat about his haircut this evening, because I'm sure Al will have a little bit of something to say about that. So looking good there, Paul. A little bit of hint of Ragnar Lothbrok in that one, I'm afraid, but looking good, mate. Right, Lee, let's get this show on. Let's get it moving, mate. Let's get it moving.
So tonight's guest needs no introduction, but I've made him one anyway. It is this guy.
All right. You're with Al, and this is Chronicles of a Not Yet Champion Golfer. Press. I've got the yips with it. Can't do it. Press and move it up. Press. I've got a big lump in my floor.
Oh, is it safe though? Is it safe?
It was well rehearsed.
It was almost cheesy. Don't like it.
It's Alex Evans.
Evans, welcome
Dramatic,
to the show.
wasn't it?
What? I mean, I was welling up there for a moment. There was a small tear popping out there, mate.
It was very dramatic.
What a lovely intro. That is like, we started off with Angry Al. It was an emotional music as well. Well done, Lee. Lovely.
Well, you know, I like to give people a good introduction to the channel.
Well, welcome to the channel, Al. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, good. Nice to be on. I mean,
how is lockdown treating you, mate?
Yeah, mate. It's a bit boring, and I'm running out of stuff to break at the moment. But it's, you know, I'm doing what I can. I can't complain. I'm in a decent situation, and I'm 2 minutes away from the golf course, so I can walk down there, walk the dog, pretend I'm playing golf at least. So that's something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we've got lots of questions for you, and I know the audience will be coming on and wanting to put on some questions towards you, Alex. If there's anything else out there, and if people want to put any more questions, Lee's going to pop up a little banner here now for you to come on and have a little, send an email in at, which one is it, Lee? It's the Thursday Live. There it is. So Thursday Night Live 0.
Yes, 0.
At gmail.com. So if you've got any questions and you want to come on to the show tonight, then ping Lee an email and we'll get you on to ask some questions to the panel. Right. What have we got this? We've got the DHG thing to sort out first, Lee, haven't we? Before we move on.
So we are going to continue with our segment of what happened last week.
Yes.
So let's move on to that now. So for those who have watched the channel and are regular watchers of the channel, Dan released a video last week about Ash Burnham, and this is just a little snippet of that video. And that was introducing the world to DHG Media.
Yes, it was. So we've kind of launched a bit of a media side of the channel now. And this is really just to kind of having opportunities to go out and preview golf courses and get out and kind of expose golf courses to the wider audience, we say. And these types of videos are just going to be kind of, when we go and we vlog at these courses, we're going to do some behind the scenes kind of stuff, meet up with the people that actually work at the golf club. And to be honest with you, the first couple of videos that we've put together for this has gone down really, really well. So this is something hopefully we're going to see a little bit more of moving forward. And obviously, if there's any golf clubs out there that are interested, then, you know, get in touch and we can have a conversation about it moving forward. So that is DHG Media, which you have seen now on the channel. Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to address a couple of comments. They're quite repetitive comments that come up every now and then. So I thought we'd put them up. discuss it, and then put it to bed. Let's get that out of the way. So the first thing that comes up a lot is too many ads in the video.
Alex, do you get this as well? Do you ever get comments with this?
I've had the odd one, but I don't think Google really like advertising on my channel. So I haven't had it that much, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've seen it a lot on a lot of channels, that sort of comment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that we do put in segments of places throughout the actual videos that we put on. There'll be certain videos that we'll put 1 or 2 at the beginning or whatever it will be, and then it will just run through and we'll let Google kind of decide how that would work out from there. But it's just initially, certainly for the channel and for the growth of the channel, those are really, really important for the channel to survive and move forward. You know, these trips do cost a lot of money to put on, and we're buying all the equipment and everything. So those ads actually do need to kind of be there right now. As time moves on, hopefully the channel will be successful enough, and then we'll be able to start pulling those away and just focusing on, obviously, you know, not putting them on, should we say. But I think initially, I think it's important for a channel of this size to certainly have that little bit of ad revenue that comes in from it. So
yeah, and I think the point is that what some people may not understand is, although, you know, we do get sent away by some companies, is they don't pay for the fuel, they don't pay for the, you know, you buy all our food while we're there, you buy all our drinks while we're there out of all this budget.
Yeah.
And obviously the equipment we use, you know, between me and you, we've easily spent like 15 grand on cameras and camcorders and laptops. You know, it's all that money is being reinvested into the channel, the same as the super chat, which people do on this, really.
Yeah, but I think over time they will reduce as the channel moves forward. But for now, it's just kind of part of it, really. Right. Okay. Well, let's move on from that one. What's next?
So the last one on this bit is this one again, Dan. You don't answer every comment.
No, and I do get this question quite a bit about interacting with the audience and things like that. But I kind of worked out that I get around 1,500 to 2,000 comments every week, whether that's on the YouTube platform, Facebook platforms, Instagram, or Twitter. So having time to actually to comment on every single one is very, very difficult. I do read every comment that comes through. I make a point in reading every one, and I generally give it a like. Whether I disagree or agree with the comment, I generally sort of take note that I've actually read it. It's just, again, how, you know, you go through this all the time. You know, it takes time, doesn't it, to go through all the comments. We were chatting about it a few days ago about it, but
yeah, it does. I mean, I'd get nowhere near the amount of comments just because of the size of the channel, but early days, I try and reply to everything I can. But I mean, if I'm replying to 200 comments, that takes me, you know, a good 2 days, really, certainly 2 afternoons to do it. I have to make sure something's good on TV and I've got some good coffee in front of me. So yeah, it does take the time. And I haven't got any kids to look after either, Dan, like you.
Laura does that. It's all right. Laura does that.
I think the only thing I'd add on to that is, you know, some of the bigger social media influencers have a team to answer their questions, and people may think that I've got the opportunity to answer the questions for you, but you make a point of all your social medias are you. And when you reply on YouTube or Twitter or anything like that, it is you doing it. It's not me. It's not a brand manager. And you know, you just haven't got the time to do it.
It takes time. So I do try, and I will try to do more as time goes on. But as it stands at the moment, it's just a case of reading them all and then replying to the one or two that I can get to. Okay.
Right. Moving on. We're going to have a guest in to start with. Before
we've got first question. Okay.
So we got our first question. Welcome to the stream, Lester.
Oh, I didn't think you were coming. I didn't think you were coming this evening. Welcome, Bernie.
I'm a little bit starstruck, to be fair, but I've got a question for Al.
Go for
Al, I've known Dan 30 years, and he's always been useless with the ladies on this side of the pond. Had more success with American women. I find this.
Dan, do you want me to lie or tell the truth here?
And shout technique. Can you confirm or deny his claims?
Can we before you answer this, Al?
I don't know if to lie or tell the truth on this.
So there's going to be people watching this channel now, Bernie, that don't know what you're talking about there with regards to Al and I. Al and I have known each other for probably best part of 15 plus years now. And we went to the same university. Well, we did. We were trying to get to that, but then you've jumped on from I don't know where you've come
Ruined
from.
it.
From under the desk. So Al and I actually, did I recruit you, Al? I'm thinking.
When I first went, I think you were the first person I met when I got over there.
So I was.
And I still went. I didn't go home. So.
So obviously I was finishing off. I was in my senior year at Weber International University down in Florida. And then Al was looking to come over to America, which his brother was already out there. And but you came and joined us at Weber and spent 4 great years at Weber. So back to Leicester's question. Go for it. Fill your boots, Al.
Well, you know what? It depends. It depends on what he'd chosen to drink that night, because there was a fine line between Dan having like actual decent chat up lines, and then over the line was Dan deciding to go the other side and get a little bit aggressive at times when he does. So it was like one or the other, and I didn't know where his focus was, because it was like, where's that switch going to go to being Dan wanted to go and speak to the girls, and then the other Dan where he wanted to go and have an argument with someone. And that little middle period didn't last that long. So, you know what, Dan, I'll say that we had a good time when we went out. I don't think we were particularly great, but we enjoyed ourselves, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Absolutely right.
Wasn't there a story that involved you becoming the name Bob or something? Wasn't there? Was that one?
No, Don.
Don.
So Al calls me Don every time.
That's quite a good story, isn't it?
It calls me Don.
Yeah, just call him Don. Yeah. Why not?
Because basically the reason why I was called Don at university and with Al was because when I introduced myself as Dan, a lot of the Americans couldn't quite understand my twang. They thought I said Don. So that's when Al jumped on that one. It's literally, I think you just got off the plane and you found that out.
Yeah, you'd been there 3 years. You'd already had the accent in. You'd been there 3 years. I was like, why is he speaking like that? Yeah. Don, why do you spell it with an A?
So there you go, Bernie. Hopefully that answers your question. But lovely questions. Open up the chat, Bernie. Well done.
Cheers, Bernie. Bye.
See you later.
Bernie.
See you, mate.
I'm happily married with 2 children. Thank you.
If that wasn't your choice.
Worked out in the end, that didn't it?
Yeah. Right, what's next, Lee? Let's move on from Bernie, shall we?
Let's move on from Bernie.
Am I not allowed to stay then? Oh, right.
Yeah, you can stay, Bernie. Right, first question then, guys. Have any of the panel ever thought of or been close to giving up golf for any reason?
Alex,
who's going to go first?
Go for it.
Oh, well, knew you'd start with me then. Knew you'd start. Not this week, to be honest, because I haven't been able to play, so that's been good. But you know what? I think during rounds, sometimes this sounds ridiculous mentality when you speak back, but during rounds, sometimes I've thought, right, this is it. I'm wasting my time. There's no point in doing this anymore. And genuine feeling of when I finish this round, like more so when I was playing like Euro Pro events, I would like miss the cut and I'm like, right, well, that's it. I'm done now. I'm done. It's disaster. It's over. And then I'd sort of have some lunch and then go and practice and then I'd be all right. But I don't think for any period of time I've actually genuinely, away from the emotion of actually playing golf, I've thought of giving up really now. I've always just reverted back and going, you need to go and do some more work rather than give up. So
because your rounds of golf, to be fair, Al, at college certainly, and probably moving on into your pro game, very much a roller coaster, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
As in, like very much highs and lows and emotions of when you were getting into your game. Like you struggle, and probably may still do, but you struggled to keep a level head as you went around the game of golf. You'd be like positive, made a couple of birdies, and then one little duff chip, and that was game over. Thing, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up.
But I think that can sometimes, and we'll talk about this more probably as the show goes on, but that can is probably held you back in some ways. Would you say?
Yeah, I think it probably has. Yeah, it probably did. But I think there's certainly something to be said for being yourself as well. So I think in my sort of defense against that was trying to be like someone else. So I'd try and go out and be like Ernie Els and have that mentality. And it's just not me. So that was like fighting against myself even more, rather than actually thinking, right, well, this is how I am, because that's how I am. I am up and down, you know, and I get sometimes a little bit over the top on the golf course at times, but it's managing that rather than completely changing your personality. Because to be honest with you, I enjoyed that side of golf, the ups and downs. I just needed to be able to switch it off when I need to switch it off and switch it on when I need to switch it on. And that was probably where my challenge was if I hit that duff chip on the first hole, I'd still be thinking about it 3 days later into the third round, you know. So I think it's definitely something that playing to your own strengths, but managing them better than probably I did, certainly when I was at college anyway.
Paul, have you ever got to the position in golf where you've ever decided you just like, I don't know, like I'm done?
Not really, no. I've felt like it, but I've never actually said I'm going to do it. No,
yeah,
never got that far. I've always been like how I've always been. If I do bad, I always got that fight in me to go out and try and improve or do something better. I've never quite got to the quitting stage of golf yet. Definitely.
Yeah. Bernie, you've quit golf a few times and come back, haven't you?
No, I've got too many nice jumpers to give up golf. So where do I wear my jumpers?
Too many Pringle jumpers.
I don't really play, do I? To be honest, I'm not really a golfer, so
no.
I just mess around with you, don't I? I'm in the shop. That's all, really.
Yeah, I've never been to a position where I've ever thought about ever giving up golf. I've been in position early on in my professional career where I have sort of questioned whether I should be carrying on as a professional golfer. Definitely, and mid rounds, you know, in rounds of golf, I'd be emotionally a bit, you know, struggling to break 80 for a period of time when I was certainly starting out as a pro, questioning whether it was the right move for me. Sure, but never wanted to give it up. No. Okay, move on, Lee. What we got?
Yeah, I'd never give up golf because I've got nothing to give up.
You've only just started, Lee. You can't give up yet.
So I've got nothing to give up. Okay, next question is about golf course sizes. I'd like to hear the team discuss the future of sub 6,000 yard courses and eventually sub 6,500 yard courses. Okay. So I think they're talking more like par 68s, par 69s, that kind of thing.
Love it. Shorter the better.
Yeah. You wouldn't need that gym work, would you, Paul?
No.
You wouldn't need all that. No.
Just stay in the bar instead. Be fine.
Yeah, I've been doing a swing speed thing. I don't want to waste my time. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste all them time trying to swing it as hard as I can.
Do I? I mean, you know, the golf courses are getting longer and longer, and that's just because they're dealing with the quality of the pros that are out there now. You know, I mean, they're all bombing it as far as they're bombing it, and it's just golf courses and golf course architects are trying to manage that. We've had conversations about that previously on the channel, from Paul's experience of being on tour and things like that. But you know, I mean, we've played some fantastic golf courses that are maybe slightly older. There was one in Pals. Remember that one, Paul, in Spain, which has held the Spanish Open, and is a very tight tree line golf course, but there's lots of irons off tees, lots of sort of 5 woods, not many drivers, and they are fantastic golf courses. And unfortunately, the tour will probably never go back to those. But it is a shame. It is a shame. More importantly, I would like to see actually more 12-hole courses or 9-hole golf courses around, because I think that the what's holding possibly golf back in some ways is the time it takes to get around a golf course. So I'd like to see maybe a bit less on the holes rather than maybe the length of the golf course. Really,
I think it's funny on tour that, because I think probably the toughest golf course that they play on European tour is probably the shortest in Valderrama. I think that's maybe 6'8", something like that. Like, it's not long on tour standards. Yeah. And I think most of them would say that's probably the toughest course they play all year. So I don't think the course needs to be long. But the thing is, if you're building a 6,000 yard course, it's not going to be established like Valderrama is. That's so hard because the trees have been there for however long the course has been there. You know, it's
absolutely,
it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next question, Lee.
Next question is, I have a handicap of 30 according to my club and WHS. Do you think I should be looking at getting custom fit for a set of irons, or is it too early in my golfing journey?
Again, I'm going to put this to you, Al, because you did a stint, certainly in the last couple of years, where you were working for Honma, weren't you? You were doing some custom fitting and, custom fitting side of things with them. What's your take? I mean, you must have custom fit lots and lots of different people and different standards of golf. What's your kind of take?
Yeah, I'd say it's always worthwhile, regardless, really, of your standard. It's always worthwhile doing it. But I think if, for instance, you've just started playing and you're playing off 30, almost go and get custom fit, because you might as well get it right for you, what's right for you at the moment. But you've got to have in mind that if you're working on your game, trying to improve all the time, you have just started, you're likely to change quite quickly. So you may need a new set in 6 months' time. So that's obviously a cost thing to take into account. But if you can get custom fit, regardless, I'd always say it's worthwhile doing, but just keeping that in mind that it may change.
Definitely. Anyone else want to add on to that? But I agree with Al. I think it's important at any stage just to get an idea of what you would need.
I think if you're going to go and buy, sorry, Les, I think if you're going to go and buy a new set of clubs anyway, why not just get fit for them? Because most places will, even if they charge you 20, 30 quid to charge to fit, most of them will knock that off if you make the purchase anyway. So you're not losing anything by getting fit, but you'll probably gain better clubs than going and buying them off the shelf.
And then you can always change loft and lie down the line. It's not like you need to buy a new set. And that's likely in the sense of 6 months. That's really where you're going to change as you change your swing. Then you can start going into shafts and everything a little bit later on. So,
Bernie, you wanted to add something there?
No.
No, done.
Lee basically said what I was going to say. So people, if you go to a decent place with decent pros, they're better at your clubs anyway with the loft and line machine. So it's not really a major issue. When you're starting up, I wouldn't spend too much on your clubs. I probably wouldn't go sort of into your sort of £1,500-1,600 worth of clubs. I'd go a little bit, maybe a price bracket below, and then look to upgrade in 6-9 months if you do start to improve.
Yeah, I agree. Just before we move on to our next question, I just want to say, Al, you've been doing YouTube now. How long have you been a pro for now, Alex?
Trying to think. So I graduated uni 2008, maybe 2009. So 11 or 12 years, I think now.
And how long's your YouTube channel been going?
Only 2 years. 2 years I started it. Yeah, it was my missus that got me into it, to be fair. I didn't really know that much about it, and she got me into it. She works in media, so she got me into it. I've loved it, to be honest. I've loved it. It's helped my game massively, which I never expected it to. But
and then having the opportunities. I know Paul Waring is a very good friend of yours. Plays on the European tour. I don't know where's he ranked now on the world rankings and things. He nearly got
dropped down. Yeah, he got up to 66.
Did he?
66 last year, and then he had injury, so he missed a big part of last season. Again, he played about 12 events last year, so he's down. He's about 150-ish now, something like that. But I mean, I've grown up with Paul, and he is. I can be biased towards him, but he is the unbelievably good golfer, like massively, massively talented. I think if anyone gets a chance to watch him, I mean, I know I see him all the time, and hopefully he doesn't watch this because I don't want him thinking I'm being nice to him, but he is an unbelievably good golfer.
Yeah. How old is he, Al?
He's 36. No, he's 36 next week, actually. 2nd of February, 36. I'm a week older than him. Yeah, so it was my birthday last week, if anyone, that's what I was saying.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. So if someone was coming over to your channel, what are they going to find? What are you kind of doing? And and I suppose in some ways, what made you come into the YouTube world, other than your missus telling you how to do it? But what made you kind of do it?
Yeah, you know what? It's to give myself a bit of accountability. So for the work that I do, so it's pretty much following whatever I'm doing in golf, really, and it's that sort of point of view of what I do as a professional player, trying to get better. So a lot of my practice stuff, a lot of on course, all the sort of drills that I do, tests that I do to try and get better, and just kind of following whatever I'm doing at that point in the game. So at the minute it's working on speed. So we've done a swing speed series, and we've done it with Paul, and Paul's been really keen when he's been home doing it. And it's the insight from him whenever he's home, he comes on the channel as much as he can. The insight from him is brilliant I think it's brilliant for people that don't see it very often. And it's brilliant for me because I mean, I learn so much off him all the time. And it really annoys me as well when he gets beat and I keep breaking all his stuff as well. Like I broke his TrackMan the other week, which was not great, actually.
He took that well, did he? Hey,
not a great thing to do. I phoned him. I was like, "Was your TrackMan already cracked?" He's like, "No."
What did you do? Hit it? Did you hit it?
No, I dropped it. I dropped it. Honestly, before I'd even started, I hadn't even started practicing. When the garage took it out, unzipped it, and it like zips as a square. One handle dropped, it bounced on like the garage floor, and I was like, oh, just didn't want to look at it. It was lying on the floor. I was like, should just walk in and leave it. Didn't want to look at it, but yeah, cracked the corner of it. So, was this expensive, mate? Yeah.
Dan's good at breaking things, isn't he, Lee?
Yeah, drones.
Yeah, I can hit drones. That's no problem.
It's a talent.
It was a talented shot, actually. Quite a nice. It was one of the best strikes of the day. Right.
Now done. Oh.
What question we got now, then, Lee? What question we got?
Well, I was going to bring somebody in. He was patiently waiting, but just as I was about to bring him in, he's gone. So, Sean, if you're watching, come back in. I'm going to let you in. But I'm going to bring in a question out of the YouTube comments as the next one.
Yeah.
And that is: do you think the golf ball will be changed to stop the big hitters?
There is a lot of money involved with golf balls, and I don't know how the golf world can deal with that. To be honest with you, I'm just not sure. Not sure how they can
segregating the game, isn't it? It can't be. You couldn't do it throughout the game. It'd have to be separate for golf pros and for amateur golfers, and then the game's completely different, isn't it?
I don't know. Paul, have you got anything?
I don't think you're going to stop the big hitters. They'll still hit it further than the average hitters anyway. So whatever golf ball you use, and
it's all relative.
And like Al said, you don't want to start creating two different games. A game for the pros, which use different equipment than what the amateurs use. You know, the good thing about golf is that it's the same across the board. For amateurs, use the same clubs as the pros. So I think maybe they could rein in the ball a little bit to stop having to lengthen golf courses, but it's not going to stop the big hitters. They're still going to have that length advantage, whatever golf ball they use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure. There's a lot of money involved with the golf ball market, and it's just, I don't know. It's way above us, to be fair, but I don't think it's going to really improve anything because, like Paul said, people are just still going to hit the ball further. So I don't think it's going to change. Lee, what we got?
So Sean's back. So we're going to
welcome back, Sean.
Is he there?
He's coming.
It's buffering.
He's swirling.
Needs to switch a light on. Here he is.
Sean, how you doing? All right?
Hey, you guys. Dressed up for the occasion.
Sorry, I'm no shirt yet.
How you doing?
Always well, you guys.
Good. What question have you got for us then, Sean?
I was wondering when you guys eventually do get to travel and stuff like that, if you were ever planning a trip to South Africa.
Well, I've never actually been to South Africa, and it's definitely a location I just want to go and visit more. Probably more than just playing golf there. I just want to go and see it. I had a really good friend of mine from university that was from South Africa, and I always promised him that we'd head down there at some stage to meet up and have a game of golf. But have you guys been? Anybody else been to South Africa?
I've not been. No, I'd love to go, but yeah, never been.
Lee, is the Navy taking you in? Did they take you in over?
To South Africa? No, I've never. The closest I've been is Kenya.
Yeah,
so that's the closest I've been to South Africa.
Sure, whereabouts in South Africa are you?
Cape Town.
Are you?
Okay, yeah, love to go to Cape.
And
you know what? I just watched.
Go on now.
I've just watched. This is random, completely off topic, but I've just watched a program on Netflix called My Octopus Teacher, and it's some fella that goes swimming with octopus every day in Cape Town. Now I want to go there to do that.
So where do you play your golf, Sean? Where do you play your golf?
So Boshemere, which is a course out in Paarl, 27-hole course, fantastic course.
Lovely.
Of course, Paul might know is Pearl Valley. They obviously play a lot of big courses there, but obviously Joburg is where Paul might end up with the European Tour, Nedbank Challenge, and all that.
Right. Good. Okay. Well, thank you, Sean.
Sorry, my last question was, I've actually asked it a couple of times on your YouTube channel, the Bridgestone ball, if any of you guys have ever tried it.
So I used the Bridgestone ball for probably about maybe a year and a half, something like that. But early on, probably back in probably 2010, 2011, I used the Bridgestone ball. And I hadn't had a chance to use it since. And the reason for that, really, certainly in the UK, is that getting hold of that ball has been a bit of a challenge. You know, you don't see them stocked in a lot of pro shops. I mean, at Leicester, I couldn't even tell you who our rep is now for Bridgestone. But
no, I wouldn't have a clue. We've used Titleist because we get them for free, don't we? So.
But yeah, I think it's definitely. I think with all the comments that have come in from the Pro V video that we've made recently regarding the Bridgestone ball, I think it's something that we would definitely need to have a little look at and definitely test at some stage. So we will get it onto the channel and have a little look at it. Definitely.
Love to watch it. Enjoy, guys. Thank you so much.
Right, Sean. Thanks,
Sean. See you, mate.
Bye.
Is there no dress code when you come on this channel then?
You've got a suit on indoors.
It's a lot warmer. It's a lot warmer down there, Bernie.
Yeah. Bare minimum, you've got to wear a shirt. Unless you're female, then it's encouraged. Not.
Oh dear. Filter. Where's that filter?
I thought
it's live. You can't put stuff out.
You know it's live, Barnsley. You know that.
Yeah. There is no editing, Bernie.
I know. I can see Dan's face every time I speak. It's so funny.
Anyway, moving
swiftly on. Move on.
Next question: what is Alex's limit with his driver speed, and when will he reach his max numbers?
Hang on. Where did you start when you started getting into your training a bit more? Where did you start?
Yeah, when I started building swing speed, so I did a series last year as well, similar. Felt like I've done a lot more this time, but I started at I was swinging it about 110-ish normally when I was playing. And then when I tried to really hit it hard, I could get it to like 113, struggling to get past that really, which at the time, I think maybe 114's average on PGA Tour now. So I had to really like jump on it to get it to the average PGA Tour sort of speed. And then this time I've moved it up. I think now I probably swing it comfortably about 118. Like I could play on the golf course at that speed, and my maximum that I've had is 122, which I think I can do. I mean, I haven't done it for a while, and I think I could get there quite consistently, hitting it hard. But this is the good thing with practicing it, and this is why I enjoy it so much, this sort of practice, because I don't think there is a limit. Like I've said, I want to get to 125, but I'm sure once I get to 125, I'll then want to get to 130 and then move it on. And that's why I love practicing it, because I think if there was a limit and I got there, there'd be no point. I'd almost feel a little bit demotivated, whereas it kind of never stops. That's the best thing with golf, isn't it? There's there's never a limit to how good you can get to or how much you can improve regardless of your standard. So yeah, the limit, I don't know.
So I've got a question leading on from that, is that have you seen, when you've been working on your yardage gain, have you gone, your dispersion, is that gone? Or are you still maintaining? Because, I mean, no. You're a decent driver of the ball, Al. You've always been a decent driver of the ball, pretty accurate with it. Do you feel like you've possibly lost that? I definitely didn't.
No, I don't, to be honest.
Sunningdale.
No, I don't think. I think it's got better, because I think previously I was a little bit hesitant with driver, so protective with it. And that's why I didn't have the speed. It wasn't because I couldn't swing it faster. I was just a bit protective with it. Yeah. And then that sort of caused me to hit drives that, where the body locks up and I back up and I could hit it so far right with not a fast speed. Whereas now, to get speed, like everything's got to work in time and the body's got to work really hard and everything's got to be quite free flowing. Yeah. So I think I'm actually better for that I can actually stand there and hitting it hard makes me commit to it a little bit better. You still hit bad shots, of course. You still hit it wide every so often. The golf wouldn't be the same if you didn't. But yeah, I would say it's actually got dispersion-wise a little bit tighter.
The thing with it is, and this comes back to speed sticks, because like people think that there's a quick fix with hitting it longer, and that's I've seen it on social media, these people just swinging the hell out of these speed sticks, and I just don't see. Well, I think you need to build your muscles with it. Your body needs to be able to stabilize yourself when you're hitting shots. So, I mean, you've not done it with just speed sticks, have you? You've done it by actively going to the gym, working on core stability, all of those things that I know I've seen you working on. That has to be part of it, surely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's almost dangerous just to go straight into speed sticks and not doing anything else. I think you've got to build your body to match the speed that you want to swing it at. So it's definitely a process, and it's a balancing process as well. So it's different for everyone. I've always felt like I play better golf when I've lifted weights and I feel like I'm a bit stronger. A lot of people feel like they hit it better when they don't do any weights. My roommate at college, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but Rupert was honestly, all he ate was chips and pizza. Like, that was it. That was his diet. Chips and pizza. Never did any exercise. Never did any exercise or anything. Nothing. And he hit it absolutely miles. I don't really know how, but he obviously played better golf like that. And I feel like I play better when I lift weights. So again, it's so personal with the game. Yeah. But yeah, I think you've got to be careful just going straight into swing speed sticks. You've got to make sure you're matching the rest of the stuff in as well.
Yeah. Al, what type of pizza was it? What like flavour?
Just cheese, mate. Just cheese. No, yeah, honest, just cheese. That was it. He was vegetarian, but didn't eat vegetables. It was cheese and chips. That's it.
Okay, so move on. We've got another guest waiting, and this is a guy called Will. So let's add Will into the stream. Hello, Will.
Good evening.
Hello, Will. Good evening to you. How are you?
All right, Will.
I'm very well. How are you?
All good. All good. What have you got for us, Will?
I was just asking, since you've got Alex in the studio, I see you do a lot of club reviews. Is there any possibility you'll be entering into the Wilson side of the market, because they're a very underrated brand and they're not covered a lot by other subscriptions?
Alex, Wilson, talk to us.
Yeah, I've used Wilson about onto my second season with them now. I've been massively impressed. Like I knew Wilson because Paul Waring used them, and he's been under contract with them for a few years now, and he actually won with them. So I knew them from that, but I think they've upped the game massively in the last sort of 2 to 3 years. And I'm not just, I mean, Wilson obviously helped me out with my irons, but I wouldn't use something that I didn't like. And I've got the staff model blades, and I think they are literally the nicest irons I've ever seen. But they've just brought out the CB, and I'm yet to compare them. So maybe might be a different one coming. But yeah, I think they've really upped their game massively. So I would suggest to anyone to at least give them a chance. I know you have, Will, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah.
I think Wilson, me looking at Wilson, I mean, they make a great ball out, didn't they? Because we were messing about with that ball around the chipping Sunningdale, weren't we? So they make a decent golf ball out there on the market. And I know obviously their iron game has always been really, really strong. What's happening in the top end at the Woods? I mean, are they? I've seen a release of a new driver that they've just released now, which looks quite tidy. They're getting some decent reviews from some of the guys that review products. Is that game? Are they picking up that part of the game?
Yeah, they've just brought out the D9, which I'm going to be testing, and I've heard really good stuff about it. I can't say I've hit it because I haven't. It's a little bit cheaper price point than what's out there as well, so I think that can make it competitive. And they've also worked with quite a few of the tour players, certainly in the States. I know Gary Woodland was using a Wilson Labs drive, which was a prototype. Paul's had a few of the prototype driver and fairways, which lovely looking clubs, but they're always under development with mainly the PGA Tour players. So I know they're trying to actually develop the clubs with the tour players to try and get into that market, because it's not somewhere they've been particularly, not massively competitive in. Like you said, it's always been the iron game. So hopefully in the future, we'll start to see it a bit more prominent, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Hopefully that answers the question there, Will. Thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for watching. All right.
Cheers, Will.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've just spotted on here from Alex Pears saying, just to remind Alex that there's an 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. Is there footy tonight, Al?
Fully aware of that. Yeah, we've actually, me and Paul, we shouldn't really be speaking, to be honest. But
is it?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Is it Tottenham Liverpool? Is it?
To be
Tottenham
fair,
Liverpool tonight. Yeah.
To be fair, I shouldn't be speaking to either of them because my team's above them in the league. So, I mean, these lesser clubs towards the bottom of the league.
Mid-level teams, aren't they?
Yeah, we're a top 4 team now.
So don't worry, Alex. He will be there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
cheering on the Reds.
Absolutely.
Right, next one.
Moving on. Just before we move on, I have sent out 16 emails so far, but only 2 guests have come on. So if you have emailed in and you want to come on, check your emails because there was a link
your inbox.
there.
Yeah,
probably got in the junk.
Probably got in the spam. Right, next question then. Will Dan and Alex ever do a vlog together with Lee and the Biff? Oh, Lester and the Biff as well.
So, well, I mean, at the end of the day, Alex and I have been talking about getting together and doing some filming for now just over a year, and we just haven't had a chance to get it done, have we, mate? You've because of the COVID situation going on last year, it's been very, very difficult for me to travel up to see Alex in Liverpool, or for him to come down. We managed to get together and play it in the Sunningdale foursomes, which was great fun. But other than that, we've not had a chance to get the cameras out, have we yet? But we will. We will.
And you living on the Riviera takes a bit of time, doesn't it, to meet up in between? You know what I mean? So we will 100%.
Yeah. So that will happen. It definitely will happen in 2020.
I've got to see Leicester's chipping anyway, so we will definitely just to see that.
I would like to see you two have a chip off, to be honest. That would probably set that up.
Hey,
It will Skype for live.
I've got a new chipping technique now, so it's all good.
Yeah. But you can't talk about
the secret. Found the secret.
The video's not out yet.
Right, let's bring in another guest. I've got 2 lined up now. That little prompt has worked. So we're going to bring in Michael first. But if you are waiting in the waiting room, please wait. You will get a chance to come in. But here's Michael.
Hello, Alex.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing?
Good
Mike?
evening.
How are you?
Good evening, Michael.
Hello, Dan. All right?
How are you? All right?
I'm fine, yes. It's been nice and sunny down in Essex today. I don't know about you lot.
It's been raining pretty much all day in the English Riviera.
It's been all right here, actually. It has been all right, but my garage got flooded last night, so that's not great. But
It's a lot colder up your way, Al, isn't it? North of the wall a bit. It's quite cold up there, isn't it?
It's quite warm today. It's been nice the last couple of days. Yeah. It's like tropical.
I was going to ask Dan's youngest brother if he's got any European Tour events coming up this year.
No. There are chances to qualify for some, but I'm going to have to do well. As we got an event in June, which if you do well there, you might get a couple of starts. So at the moment, nothing, but going to keep trying.
What's happening from the European Tour point of view, Paul? Is there still starts are still available like that? There's not restricted anything going into this year?
For PGA, there is, they've changed. They normally have the playoffs at the end of the year, and they've now lumped that in with the PGA Championship. So that's in June. Are you playing that one out? You in for that or not?
Yeah, we'll be. We're going for qualifying for it. Yeah, and then they're having Q School this year, aren't they? European Tour Q School at the end of the year. So that's in the plan.
November time.
Fits. That'll be second stage in November. It's something like sort of September, October, first stage. So we'll see when they release that. They haven't released anything on that yet, but
yeah. And just on that, are any of you guys doing open qualifying? Anyone going open qualifying this year? How are you going to have a go?
Yeah, I'll be doing that. Yeah, definitely. 100%.
And Paul, you've missed out on first stage for a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is because I did well in the PGA Championship last year. You normally get through to the final stage. But because last year's didn't happen, I'm not sure if you get exempt through this year or not. I don't know. You have to wait and see. But if I get through into the final stage, I'll go. But I probably won't do the whole preliminary one because that's quite a long. It's a long.
Be good for that, yeah. Bit beneath you.
Alex, where
Sorry,
is your local qualifying, open qualifying going to be in your region?
So it's moved. It was West Lancs last year, but it's moved this year to a course called Coldy, which is, if I go to Coldy, it's only 10 minutes down the road. Played it loads as a kid, so shouldn't have said that because I've just bigged it up like, oh, I should get through now. Never played it, don't know what it's like. But yeah, Coldy Golf Club, it's literally 10 minutes down the road. It's a lovely course, really nice course.
You rave about West Lancs, Al, don't you? You love the West Lancs.
I love it, Dan. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. It's one of the fairest, toughest links tests I think you can play. Yeah, I love it.
I played there the day after my literally during my stag do, and I can't quite remember the first 5-6 holes. Definitely don't remember.
It's not the course to play with a hangover, mate. No chance.
No, absolutely not. Michael, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mike. Cheers, Michael.
All right, take care.
Right, so another guest lined up, and this one is Kyle. So welcome, Kyle.
All right, lads,
how we doing? Kyle. How you doing? All
right.
How you doing?
Yeah, good boys. Yeah.
Where are you from, Kyle?
I'm from Scottish Borders, Peebles.
Okay, and where's your golf course? Where do you play?
Well, I'm going to be joining back up Peebles again after I've been out of golf for probably roughly 5 months.
Have you?
So yeah, I'm going to be joining.
Been out for a reason, or you just taking time out?
I just took a bit of time out. COVID situations as well, but I'm just glad to get back in it again. So
yeah, good. Question, go for it.
Question is, this is to everybody. What is your favourite thing about golf? Anything, doesn't matter if it's a hole in one. It just could be anything. What's your favourite thing about it?
A good chip now. Good chip shot. Really appreciate a good chip. You know what? I genuinely think my favourite thing of golf now is, because I went through real struggles with it, is hitting like a good pitch shot from like 60 yards, because that was my nemesis. Like I even said to Dan at the Sunningdale Foursomes, I said, Dan, just try and avoid 60 yards, mate. It took him to the third hole, be it driver to 60 yards, bang on. I was like, thanks for that. Cheers. But that for me, because I've had struggles with it, that's my favourite thing now, is hitting a good pitch shot. It's probably my least favourite when I don't, though. So
yeah.
Lee, what's your favourite? What's your favourite part of it?
But not being 3 off the tee is quite a good thing about golf for me. Not being in the trees, that's
you
always
must hate golf then.
Sometimes being on the short grass, I like that as well. I think the favourite thing for me with golf is just the banter, the playing with friends. Really, I don't really play competitive golf, so for me, it's just the fun aspect of golf.
Yeah.
I think the best thing for me is that anyone can play against anyone. Whatever ability, I could play, or a 28 handicapper could play against Tiger Woods and have a good game because of the handicap system. And I think that's probably one of the best parts of golf, is that everybody can play against everybody. It's difficult to play against a professional tennis player if you're not professional, because it's match play. So I think that's the unique part about golf, is that everyone can play against everybody.
Yeah, definitely, highly agree. Yeah.
Bernie, do you have any?
I just say playing golf. I've met all my best friends play golf, and I met them on golf courses generally. So I've met some great people. I enjoy meeting people, talking to people, and golf's a thing we all have in common, really. So,
I think for me personally, it's I love competition, so I love the competitive side of it. It gets me going when I can enter an event and get involved. But I also have loved the travel. What it's enabled me to be able to go and travel and do what we did, Alex and I did in America, and it's just you can go anywhere in the world and take your golf clubs with you. It's absolutely fantastic from that point.
Yeah, it's like, well, with me, it's like I don't get a chance to play a lot of golf courses. So like in the last maybe year or so, I've got the chance to play a lot of courses like East Lothian on the East Coast. So like your West Links at North Berwick and things like that, and like Renaissance. And it's just like taking in moments like that. It's just like something else you don't feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just your stand, like Renaissance, for example, is like being there was amazing.
Yeah.
Knowing it's a Scottish Open event, you're just standing there and it's just like, wow. It's just the backdrop at Renaissance as well is probably some of the best views you'll get in the world, in my opinion. It's just amazing.
It's a beautiful part of the world up there, isn't it? It's absolutely stunning.
Like West Links as well. West Links is just you just can't, because like some courses in Britain you just can't compete with that. It's just amazing. And it's just, you just take in a moment, it's just like, wow, you're just you're that lucky that it's like sort of on your doorstep, if that makes sense. Because that many
Yeah.
people come all over the world to come and play it. For example, Americans and like around about Europe, they just obviously they all appreciate that, and it's just amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're very lucky, aren't we, with golf? It does. There's some beautiful places out there. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Carl, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you,
Carl.
mate. You take
My
care of
pleasure,
yourself.
guys.
Good luck with your golf as well. All right. Get yourself
Thanks
back
very
into
much,
it.
guys. See you
All
later.
right, mate. Take care.
Bye.
We are racking through the guests at the minute, boys. So
Okay.
we've got another guest, and this is patiently been waiting. Is Matt? Welcome to the stream, Matt.
Good evening. Matt. Good evening.
All
How
right,
are you?
Good to see you all. So the first thing I'd like to say is thanks to all of you for all of the vlogs that you do. It's really helped to get us through various lockdowns. I started watching Alex during the first lockdown, and I think some of this, you've kind of alluded to bits and pieces of this during tonight's show. I'm really curious to know, I mean, I love your vlog. You hit the ball amazingly, and you seem really humble, but for someone at the sort of level of subscribers you're at, you just sort of casually have chats with people that you clearly know really well, like Danny Willett and his caddy, other people on the pro tour. So I'm really curious to know what it is that you do away from the golf vlogs.
So, I mean, my whole thing is, my whole life's around golf, really. And I guess, I don't know, because I've been around it so long, you kind of come across these lads kind of growing up playing, whatever amateur events. So in terms of like a job wise, I coach. So I coach, play, obviously do the YouTube. But in terms of speaking to people, I suppose this goes back to like what the last question that the last lad asked about golf. And I suppose the good thing is everyone's kind of in the same boat, and some people are just better at it than others. I think that's just the beauty of it, is you're still playing the same game, you're still playing on the same golf courses, nothing changes. Just some people are better at golf than us, and I think it's probably different in that sense than the sort of footy. You don't have the accessibility to players like you do with golf. It's almost like a different world, where I think golf, everyone's just in the same world. It's just some people have made it where they wanted to get to, and some people are playing a Saturday comp, and it's just the same thing, really. It's the same game. So yeah, that's I don't know if that answers the question. Actually, I kind of forgot what the question was. I went off on one then, but start getting emotional.
Yeah, well, the only other thing is you always sign off saying that you'll see us on Tuesday, and I always tune in, but you never turn up.
No, don't know what's going on then. Yeah, on Tuesday then. I must just disappear somewhere. I'll be back. I'll make sure I'm there next time.
Right, Matt.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matt. Nice to see you.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers.
Take care. Cheers.
Right, and we're carrying on. We've got another guest lined up. This is Tony Mclean. Welcome to the stream, Tony.
Hello.
Good evening, Tony. Good evening.
Tony.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing? How you all doing?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Oh, good.
Good. So I wrote an earlier about 2 questions, and I think the second question was for the most important one. I was just kind of thinking, what if you could play any golf course worldwide? Which one would it be to all of you?
Oh, we're all going to give the same answer here.
Yeah.
Free reign. You've got a free reign of anywhere.
I probably wouldn't go where you lot are going. I really want to play.
If you're going there, I'm not going.
I'm from Scotland, so I would like to know which golf course you'd like to play in Scotland, obviously. But apart from that, anywhere else?
For me in Scotland, it's going to be St Andrews. I've never played St Andrews, so I'm desperate to get on there at some stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough.
I'm with you, Dan.
Yes, and
I'm with you. So not played the old course. No, I've played a couple of the others up there. Played the Euro Pro event at the Fairmont, but yeah, I've not played St Andrews. That's one definitely. That and Augusta for me are the two.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd
fairly predictable, but
St Andrews, because when everyone I've spoke to who's played it says they tee off the first, and it's that aura of playing off the first. But after that point, you're kind of waiting to get to the 16th to play over the or the 17th to play the road hole and over the hotel. So the bit in the middle is a bit meh.
Yeah, that's just because they started with a 7, Lee. They had enough.
Normal,
7 on the first, you want to go home.
Yeah,
that's a good score, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you've got 15 holes in between that.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I want to play Trump, Turnberry.
Turnberry's beautiful.
Yeah,
Turnberry's
of course, yeah.
So impressive.
We've got that. The new one is just Dunbarton. He's just opened. It's beautiful. There's going to be a Turnberry rivalry very soon.
Right, and that's a Trump course as well, is it? They're opening up another one of those.
No, I don't think it's a Trump course. It's just a new links course that's opened up, and it's absolutely stunning. But because it's just new, it's relatively affordable.
Yeah,
but it's going to go up very soon, I think.
Yeah.
What's that stretch of course in Oregon? There's loads. I'm sure it's the same person that did some people that designed that. What's that called? Something Dunes, Bandon Dunes. I think it might be the same designer. I might be talking rubbish, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Can't help you there.
Did you have another question there, Tony? Did you want something else?
I can't remember. If I did, I can't remember. I apologise. I'm just happy to go on your show. Your show's amazing.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for the question.
You just put a smile on my face. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, mate.
Cheers, Tony.
Have a good evening. Take care of yourself.
Cheers. Lester's a legend.
Thanks, mate.
So he keeps telling me.
Let's get rid of him. Let's get rid of him.
They're my one fan.
Right, I'm going to bring on one more guest, and then we'll have one more question from that people have emailed in. So if you are looking to come back on, you'll have to wait until next week now. So the last guest coming on is Peter. So welcome, Peter. Somewhere. He's there.
He's going to come out of the dark like Wilbur.
He sounds young.
Is he coming on? Right, I'll tell you what. he can wait. We'll
get Peter next week.
We'll get Peter. Well, he's still there, so hopefully his signal comes back. But we'll finish on this unless Peter comes back. And it's, hi guys, great new live show. Alex, how big is the difference between a Golf Pro U and Tour Pro the Biff? And what does he feel he needs to do to get to that level?
I think when you speak to any of those lads, they have a complete understanding and a complete faith in what they do. Like, their golf swings are so repetitive that they've built purposefully that way. I mean, when I've done the videos with Paul and he gets on TrackMan, his numbers are just unbelievably consistent, like ridiculous. But I think knowing exactly what it is you need to work on is a massive strength that a lot of them have. But as well, I mean, it's being able to know what your game is and actually play into it. Whereas I've always tried to play probably a little bit too much like, oh, well, I should be playing like he is or playing like he is. I think a lot of people own their own game. And to be honest with you, Paul, you're a great example of this, is you know exactly what you can and can't do and you play with it and you don't try and do anything that isn't your strength, and then you use your strength to win tournaments, basically. And I think it's the mentality is obviously a massive thing. But as well, a repetitive technique. They always change. They're always different. The swings are completely different on tour, but each one will have one that they can pretty much rely on relentlessly, really. And it's that relentlessness that I think is pretty special in a tour pro, rather than just one good tournament and don't see it again. The best lads are up there all the time. So to get to that level, I think it's marginal improvements in a lot of areas. You know, it's getting the swing speed to be able to hit it further. It's being able to control that. It's distance control, a little bit better mentality, quite a lot better mentality, actually, a little bit. But there's
just a quick one on that, Al. You know, you and Paul obviously grew up playing golf together from a young age.
Yeah.
Was there ever, you know, has he always been a little bit ahead of you, or is there a spell where you were kind of maybe a little bit ahead of him at times and then he pushed on? Or how did it all unfold?
Yeah, when we were very young, so we both started playing similar age, about 8. And Paul was at a golf club just up the road from me. He was literally 10 minutes away. So we grew up playing sort of junior opens, and we knew of each other, and we were both, for our age, were pretty good at that point. I think, to be honest with you, yeah, we maybe I was a little bit better at a very early age, sort of 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I didn't grow for about 8 years after that, which I think probably, I'm not making excuses, but definitely held me back of progress in the game. And then Paul went on to play for England, won the England under-16s in McGregor, and then won the English Amateur and went on from there. So it's probably from about, I would say probably 12, 13, he probably pushed on further than I did. I got to county level and kind of stayed at that level, really.
Right.
Okay, so Peter's ready. I think he's back. I kicked him and he's back. So let's see if Peter's ready this time. There's Peter. There he is.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, Peter.
Good evening. Calling from Sweden. I feel like Eurovision Song Contest here. This is the votes from the Swedish jury. No.
Peter, where in Sweden are you from?
I guess you could say central Sweden. 200 kilometers north of Stockholm. So, in the central Sweden. But we have snow now, and we had 18 degrees below zero yesterday. So, not much golf yesterday.
No golfing weather.
No. I had one question, but I just want to make a really quick comment on the best things about golf. When you talked about that, I was thinking, I play golf for 5 years. I'm an 18 handicap now. I'm 54 this year. In which other sport could you do that and compete against yourself? You understand what I mean? I'm a Swedish guy. I cannot start play ice hockey when I'm 53 and evaluate my progress. You understand? I can do that now. I can get better every week. I think that's really, really nice about golf.
Yeah.
I think that's golf, isn't it? We've got guys at Torquay. I mean, even this year, one of the chaps this year beat his age, didn't he, Bernie? Yeah. One of the guys beat his age, and it's great. And you see what's fantastic about working in a pro shop environment like we do is that you get the young kids who shoot their best score ever, and they come running in and tell you all about it. But then you've got the guy that beats his age. I mean, and there's 60, 70 years between them, sort of thing. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I've not been this hungry since I was 12, maybe. So, but the question was really, what's your opinion about these draw-weighted clubs? Is it just about selling clubs? I mean, I've been struggling with coming massively over the top for when I start playing. So maybe I get fitted and get a club like that, and 3 months later I fix the swing. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. I'll jump in on this one. So when I was a young kid, I had a big slice. So I was a big slicer of the golf ball, and I remember Dad getting me fitted into not fitted at that time, but bought me a offset Cobra driver, which was there to help slicing, and it absolutely helped my game. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, it enabled me to be able to learn how to play a draw shot long term, and these drivers, the heel weighting ones, what you've basically got from a technical point of view is you've got a club that's they're trying to slow the heel down to quicken up the face, and what you're hopefully trying to get is a club face that's going to square up a little bit easier. What you also can find, or a negative to that, is that when you get weight pushed into a certain point, you're pushing the CG closer to that heel position. Therefore, lots of golfers might be what we call CG trackers, who then start to strike it more into the heel by using equipment like that. So you've got to be careful what you're doing, and this is why fittings really, really help. Because ultimately, if I was fitting a player, and Alex was seeing this as well, if I'm fitting a player and I see that strike location going more into the heel, you know, I'm not likely to start pushing weight into that heel to try and push the CG there. So you've got to be careful what you're doing with it. But absolutely, if from a percentage point of view, majority of people are going to be helped from that driver than certainly hurt them. So definitely, I think from my own experience, it's helped me massively as a youngster. So it can help many.
My driver now is massively heel weighted. Probably, I mean, I stole it from Paul, to be fair, but that's how he has it built massively. It's not just like people that struggle to create a certain valve. Like mine's massively heel weighted to really draw bias.
Yeah, and you get lots of players. And I've just recently tested the Ping products that have just been released, the 425s, and I actually what really excited me about hitting those was the straight face technology one, which is actually the heel weighted. And I could just feel like I could aim right and just hit it as hard as I want, and knowing it's going to draw back for me. So yeah, was that Will just literally?
Yeah, just swapped in. Yeah.
Also, I think that's where the benefit is of clubs where you can move the weight as opposed to your bias, isn't it? You know, people talk about the extra expense, but being able to, as a fitter, move that weight around, and then as people improve their swing, move it back to another place. That's the benefit of a movable weight as opposed to one that is fixed in the heel. Because you know, once you're in that position, and I know I'm in this position now, I've just changed driver to that Cleveland draw bias because of the way it just gives me confidence. But when I get the confidence back, that driver is no good for me. I want to be moving into a different one.
Correct. So hopefully that answers the question, Peter. I don't know if that did, but I think I went off on a tangent then, actually. But, hopefully that answers the question for you, Peter.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks for coming on to the show.
Cheers, Peter.
Stay warm.
Yeah.
Right, Dan. That's the end of that program. That's over an hour. So that's us for this channel.
Alex, a huge thank you for taking the time to come out. I mean, we've managed to get it done.
Thanks for having me.
Kick off. All right.
Yeah, we got time.
For those of you that have not had a chance to go out and check out Alex's channel, please do. There's so much good stuff on there, and there's also going to be so much more, I know, for this year for him, and we might even be on there at some stage. So please, link in the description. Yeah, head over and have a little look at Alex's channel, and yeah, get supporting Alex. He's going places in the YouTube world for sure. One other thing that I want to mention is that I had a bit of a giveaway going on today on YouTube. So if I've been sent one of these hoodies, these new special edition hoodies from FootJoy, and if you want to win one yourselves, just head over to the channel. Well, you're already on here, but head over to the community area of the channel, and I've put in there a little post which you can go on there and give it a thumbs up. Tell us what size you would be, and then I'm going to draw randomly from that. So if you want a chance to win one of these FootJoy hoodies, head over to there. And I think that's it.
Cheap plug.
Yeah, that's that cheap plug. And Lester, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem.
Has Will just delivered a donut to you?
He just delivered a donut, which I've eaten, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Nice.
Paul, as always, I'll catch up with you later. And Lee, thank you for all your hard work going into this live show as well. And that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you all again soon. Cheers, Al.
Pleasure, boys.